Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Sunday gathering. Each week we celebrate life, the afterlife, and we want to really recharge your batteries and make a difference any way we can. Now, the Sunday gatherings are also very good for us because it is an opportunity for us to exercise our creativity. So every so often, I just need to sprinkle a little Sandra dust in there. And you know, I do enjoy Phil dancing and roller skating. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Carrie to explain our Sunday gathering and introduce our wonderful cast. Over to you, Carrie.
Thank you very much, Sandra. And I love to see Phil dance as well because I've never seen him do those moves before. You're blushing.
I'm not. She always catches me when I think I'm on my own dancing, doing a bit of roller skating. She always catches me.
So it's an absolute pleasure to welcome everybody to our Sunday gathering, no matter which day of the week they're watching on. But if you're here with us live, it is Sunday in the Northern Hemisphere, Monday morning for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere. And although Phil and I are here, I've decided to invite some friends onto our Sunday gathering. So we're going to have Sandra, of course, has done our welcome for us. And I'm going to ask Darren to do our opening and closing prayers as well as the healing. And I'm going to be doing the reading, and Phil is going to be doing the words of the week. I've invited Dory Rice to deliver the address for today, and Dory will be sharing the mediumship with Kira Newton from Santa Fe. So Dory's in Canada, in Ontario, and Kira Newton is down in New Mexico in Santa Fe. So it's going to be my pleasure to watch some people who have spent time developing their mediumship with us and giving them the opportunity to share with you their passion for the spirit world as well. So I'm going to pass over to Darren for today.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Kerry, and for a wonderful theme, Staying Alive. And yes, I agree. It's always good to watch Phil having a good old boogie. It always brings a smile to our faces. So without further ado, ladies and gents, if you'd like to close your eyes and join me for the opening prayer. In love, peace and harmony, we come together here today for our Sunday gathering under that banner of We Don't Die. We come together here today with the same goal and intent within our hearts and our minds to bring together our world with that of the world we call unseen, so we can continue to move forward and go forward in our truth and understanding that love and life continue beyond this world, and allow ourselves to grow and understand and allow that healing balm to touch us with those words and thoughts from our friends, helpers and loved ones in the world we call unseen, and allow us to embrace ourselves in the love and joy of that spirit world. As we come together here today as one, we truly unite as one, coming together from different countries across our globe, speaking different dialects and different languages, and coming together from different backgrounds and understandings. But as we enter into this experience here today, we cast aside our daily lives and put aside our own wants, our own needs, our own desires, and we come here today with no demands or no expectations, and we enter into this experience with an open heart and an open mind, so that our workers and our friends, helpers and loved ones from that world we call unseen can be free and open to work as they wish. And as always, our workers here today deem it an absolute joy and privilege to work with the unseen world, and that we'll all work to the best of our abilities and our understanding so we can truly be a beacon of that world we call unseen. As we enter into our Sunday gathering today with the theme Staying Alive, we all deem to keep alive the unseen world within our hearts and our minds forever. And we do this by entering into this experience with nothing but smiles upon our faces, love within our hearts and positivity within our minds. And we ask as always that our healing light continues to shine across all four corners of our world to try and bring some of that joy and some of that happiness to those hearts and minds that may be in need at this time. So without further ado, we welcome you here today, my friends. Amen.
Thank you very much, Darren. And for the reading, I thought I was curious about I was curious about the Staying Alive song, so I did a little research on it, and I thought I would extract some words that were said about that, about the Bee Gees and about Staying Alive, because it's one of the most iconic movie songs, and it's a song that cemented the Bee Gees as the ultimate disco kings. And what this writer said was, the Bee Gees, who were born on the Isle of Man and lived in Manchester before moving to Australia, topped the charts around the world with Saturday Night Fever track. But what inspired it and how was it made? The executive producer of the Saturday Night Fever movie soundtrack and future Bee Gees manager, Robert Stigwood, asked the group to write some songs for the soundtrack. At the time, the film was only just being developed and didn't have a title, but Stigwood only knew it had to have something to do with disco mania. Barry, Robin and Maurice Gibb wrote the song over a few days whilst working near Paris, and the Bee Gees preferred to record the majority of their soundtracks in France for tax reasons, like many artists. But what is the song about? RSO Records wanted the song to share the title of the film at the time, which was to be called Saturday Night. But the Bee Gees refused, as there's been so many songs with the title Saturday in it. Instead, Stigwood expanded the name of the film to include the title of Night Fever. And several words from Robin Gibb's Concorde ticket actually inspired the lyrics for Staying Alive. Barry Gibb said, "There's people crying out for help, desperate songs. These are the ones that become giants. The minute you capture that on record, it's gold." And Staying Alive is the epitome of that. Everybody struggles against the world, he said, fighting all the nonsense and things that can drag you down. And it's a real victory just to survive. And he carried on, but when you climb back on top and win bigger than ever before, well, that's something everybody reacts to. Morris further explained, "We'd written a song called Saturday Night, but there were so many songs, even one by the Bay City Rollers, so that when we rewrote it for the movie, we called it Staying Alive. It was made at Criteria Studios, with Maurice Gibb playing a bass line similar to the guitar riff, Barry Gibb and Alan Kendall on guitars, and Blue Weaver on the synthesizer. And Barry chose to sing falsetto on the whole song, except on the line, life's going nowhere." The European video for Staying Alive was made in California after Barry had grown back his beard. Staying Alive was later used in a study to train medical professionals to provide the right number of chest compressions whilst performing CPR. A study on the medical professionals found that the quality of CPR is better when thinking about this song. And there's one other song that medical professionals also like to share, and that is Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. So the Bee Gees really have had an impact on Staying Alive, both in terms of motivating and for their film, and literally about keeping people alive. I'm going to pass over to Darren, who's going to walk us through the healing.
Thank you for that wonderful and inspiring reading, Kerry. It's really lovely to listen to, as always. A few years ago, I remember speaking with the unseen world through a trance medium. And I remember one of our friends saying, "We're only truly gone if we're forgotten." And that's always stuck in my mind and memory all these years. And when Kerry came up with the theme, Staying Alive, that was the first thing that came back to my mind, was that those words spoken by the unseen world. And then I thought it's pretty similar to healing. You know, when we come together as a big group like this, we can't see it, but it's undeniable the amount of power we can create for that healing power for the unseen world to work with and utilize. But if we don't keep it alive, it won't work. So what we're going to do now, we're going to sit for a wonderful piece of music that you can keep your eyes to and watch, or you can just close your eyes and listen to. And we're all going to come together as one to send out that healing power. So as we're doing that, you can set the intent within your hearts and your minds just to blend and send that healing power out. Or you may have someone close to you that you really, feel is in need of that healing power. So please feel free to keep them in your minds also as we sit. So let's listen to this wonderful piece of music as we sit and send out that intent for that healing power.
Now over to Dory.
Oh, that was lovely. I must admit, though, I really, really appreciate Carrie having chosen that theme for us today, because I can still hear the Bee Gees in my ear. And I know disco is dead, but I was still dancing in my chair. Not as well as Phil, but, I'm restricted in a chair, but I was dancing. When we listen to music like that, something that's catchy, a lot of the time we don't pay any attention to the lyrics. We hear the chorus, that staying alive stays with us. But when I heard that was going to be part of our theme and that was going to be the music today, I actually went and looked up the lyrics because it had a message in it that I hadn't recognized before. And it's really about a man who's looking to find his joy amongst the chaos that we're going around at the time in the news. And we're in exactly the same spot today. We're all looking for our joy amidst the chaos. They talked about the New York Times. We're getting it from every possible source. But I thought, joy is the kind of a thing that propels us out of our bed in the morning, where we can find the passion to start our day and where we want to grab life with both hands. But we don't always have a chance to get there. But getting there suggests that there is a there to get to. It's a destination. And because it's a destination, that also means that there's a journey that goes before it. I think of life as having a wonderful arc, a trajectory. It's very much like a 3-act play. We know there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. But in a play, that there's also what's called the setup and the climax or crisis and the resolution. And I think in most of our lives, we can see things exactly the same way if we pay attention to the phases that we go through. The first part of our life is all about learning to navigate in the world. And that's up to our parents. They teach us the rudimentary physical skills. We have to learn how to eat. We have to learn how to talk. We have to learn how to walk. And they do that by example and by teaching us social skills. And then when we get to preschool, that's when we learn that we have to share our space and our things with a wider group of people beyond our nuclear family. But we're still getting taught by adults, basically. And then, of course, there's middle school and high school. Now, when I say those words, I can see everybody just saying, oh yes, middle school and high school. For some of us, it was a great time. For others, it was miserable. Those were the days of the cliques, the cool kids, the popular kids, the wallflowers, the kids who sat alone, the kids who were bullied. It was very much a time of division. And instead of learning from adults, our reference point was our peers. And the joy that you would find in belonging also came at a price. It came at the price of conformity. We didn't want to risk being different. We didn't want to be one of those kids. But we knew that we wanted validation from a group. We knew that we wanted to belong. And we felt that by being part of a group and submerging our identity in the group, somehow we'd be included, we'd belong. Then after high school, there's education, further, so that we could have a career. And then maybe love and marriage and maybe children. And we settle into another community, another peer group that feels familiar. But again, that belonging comes with conformity again. Because again, we want to belong and we're looking for our community, not quite our tribe, but our community, our pack, our herd. You know, human beings are wired that way. We do need to have our community. We do need to feel belonging to a group, feel that connection. Some of us will compromise and we'll stay in the comfort zone and the familiar and won't venture out. And maybe that little bit of individuality will creep out a bit at a time. It can be a gentle way to transit life. Some of us will do it a little more daringly, should I say. Sometimes we throw everything up in the air and see where the cards land. But I think if you're lucky, you'll recognize that conformity feels like a garment that we've knit that's become too tight. And then the unraveling, as Brené Brown calls it, begins. I like to think of it more as the beginning of the awakening process, awakening to who you really are, awakening to your authenticity and knowing your soul on an intimate level and learning to belong to yourself instead of belong to a group. There's a duel that goes on. There's this competition between your need to express yourself and the need to belong to that other group, to your comfort zone, to your familiar. To my mind, this is the crisis point. This is the second act of your play. We've spent years trying to be like everybody else, not raising our heads above the crowd, not being different, not wanting to be singled out, because not belonging also came with a price. But aren't we tired of being just an extra in the cast? Is it time for us to claim the spotlight, to take center stage in our own life, to write our own script? Each and every one of us is unique. We have talents and abilities and imagination and wisdom to share and joy and passion. But it's all been submerged under a blanket of conformity because we've conditioned ourselves to live our lives that way. And that's because we know that such a risk comes from not doing as the rest of us do. There's a possibility that we'll be ridiculed. We'll be isolated. Maybe we'll be shamed. We don't want to go back to feeling like that one person sitting in the cafeteria eating lunch alone. It's not an easy choice, and it takes a great deal of spiritual courage to look deep into your soul and recognize the risk and try and balance off the risk and the reward of answering the soul, the promptings, the restlessness that is earnest, that is striving, that wants to express itself in a unique way. But there is such a joy in singing your own song, in designing your own scenery and writing your own script. What it means when we do this is we're aligning our body, our mind, and our soul. We have coherence. We've learned that we have a unique identity that we are just starting to learn because we've been hiding it not only from others, but also from ourselves. You know, the unique thing about uncovering our soul is that there are qualities that reside in there that have been there since birth. But we're only starting to recognize that these are the soul qualities that really can direct our life. And this is where we start to come in to our third act, our resolution. You know, just when we think that there is so much joy in uncovering ourselves, finding our passion, taking the risk, feeling the reward of expressing ourselves so beautifully in our own unique way, we see that we've custom designed a new garment for ourselves that allows us to stretch. It's custom made, and we can lead our best life when we can allow ourselves to keep learning more and more. But the wonderful thing about that soul quality that we've discovered is this is where we can find out and align that soul quality with our purpose in life. We now have a life of meaning within our grasp. We no longer have to worry or ask ourselves, what's my purpose? Why am I here? Or is that all there is to life? Because we've plumbed our depths. And the interesting thing is that if we follow this unique soul blueprint, if we have the courage to answer the soul's call, we become alive to the potential that has been awaiting our awakening. We can exploit every bit of creativity, power, and wisdom that has been stifled under that blanket of conformity and fear. Not only will we come alive, but we'll stay alive each and every day once we have answered the call and found that purpose, our reason for being in this world. And the big secret is that not only does it benefit us to know that we have a purpose, but that soul quality that we have isn't exclusively for our use. The beauty in finding our purpose and our reason for being is that it has a dual purpose. It means that we are living for ourselves, but we're also living to serve other people. As we continue to follow the inner prompts of the soul, the passion for life remains and grows, and we stay alive. We stay alive to joy. We stay alive to passion, to love, to service, and to the never-ending story that only we can write for ourselves. And then, again, if you paid attention to the lyrics, where Bee Gees also sang, I've got the wings of heaven on my shoes. I'm a dancing man, and I just can't lose. Stay alive, stay alive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dory. Absolutely incredible address. You know, folks, how often do we really pay attention to words of the song and the thoughts behind the songs, how they're still lived today? And you just wove it into such a beautiful address for our lives. Thank you, Dory. We're going to move on to our demonstration of mediumship now. And this is just a little opportunity for our friends in the spirit world to say, hey, folks, we're still alive. We're still here. We haven't forgotten you. We can see you. I thought about this week that the spirit friends, you know, when you put on a pair of 3D glasses, everything's three-dimensional. And that's probably what it's like for them. They're with us. They just can't communicate in the normal channels. So on our Sunday gathering, we have two great mediums. We have Kira and Dory that are going to be working with us. If this is your first time here, I'm going to explain how it goes. It's going to be a refresher course for those who've been with us before. The spirit world is in charge of our Sunday gathering. It's Probably no accident, the theme here today and how we all came together. I think that they choreograph more than we give them credit for, but they know exactly who is in our community. Even though you're looking at us through some Zoom screen on a phone or tablet or computer, they know fully and are aware who's here, like we are in one big room together. So each spirit person will take a moment to work with Kira and then Dory, putting images in their minds, thoughts, feelings, words, who knows how they work. You will get we will all hear a few initial bits of information about the spirit person who is in touch with one of our mediums. They're going to verbalize that. And we want you to be on the edge of your seat. And we want you to really listen in. Can you recognize 100% of that information as somebody that no longer walks this earth, but that you know and love? Could be a friend, could be a family member, could be somebody a little distant. So really pay close attention. When they describe this person that is with them, if you can understand 100% of that information, we want you to press your raise hand button. Don't be afraid to do so. We're just really kind, wonderful people all around the world, and it's nice to hear your voice. So if you've never been with us before, or you just want to practice pressing the raise hand button, go find it on your device and press it, just to see what happens on your side. And our screen is lighting up with all these hands, and then it should say lower hand, so you can press that again. When we identify which person in our community the spirit person is here for, we're going to ask you to unmute yourself. You can't see the unmute button yet because it takes me working a control on my side to do that. If you're the one who has an opportunity to work with one of our mediums, your job is easy. You only need to say one of 3 things. Let them do the work. As they supply information about this person or shared memory, all you need to do is say yes, no, or I don't know. Please don't volunteer any more information. I know we're always excited to share that, but we want everybody to know that it's our mediums who have brought forth this information. We don't want you to second guess yourself like, did I tell them that? Or did that really happen? This is all recorded. You don't need to take notes. You just need to be fully present. Pretty easy. Now, of course, we have a pretty large community. Not everyone will get a reading, but these representatives are here on behalf of the entire spirit population to say, we're here for you. All of our loved ones are around, okay? So don't feel slighted if your loved one didn't come through. Please listen to the evidence and to the messages. Sometimes you'll find that it's just what you need to hear. So we always play a song before we start our demonstration. And of course, with our theme, Born to be Alive. Sit back, relax, just visualize your loved ones there with you, because they are. Here we go. Are we ever born to be alive, folks? Well, our first medium up is our beautiful Kira Newton. Hi, Kira.
Hi, so nice to be here again with all of you. Thank you so much, Sandra. And Dory, that was an incredible address, incredibly moving and inspiring. I want to thank you for that. And my mentors, I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you so much. I want to say I feel that I have a man here. I do believe this would be Father. I have this sense that he would be very good with numbers. In fact, I feel that he would be so good with numbers that he would have done that in his profession, meaning an accountant working with, I want to say, finances. So I'm going to stop there and ask if anybody can understand this information so far.
Thank you very much. All right. And plus, press your raise hand button if you can understand this. We have 3 with their hands raised, Kira.
Great. I'm going to keep going and we'll just see what happens here. Because I know that I want to just give a little bit more, so it's a little more specific. I also get the sense that this gentleman would have liked boats. I don't feel that he owned a large boat, but I do feel that you would have memories with him on the boat. I feel that this is a small boat and you would have memories of him taking you there and fishing. Now, can we have anybody? Does that make it a little more?
Well, we had gone up to 5 hands and we are now down to 3. We have Autumn,
Okay.
Faith, and Christine. You have your hands raised,
Okay.
ladies.
Shall we bring, let's see if I can, shall we bring somebody forward? Faith?
All right, Faith, we're going to hear your voice. If you could press your unmute button. Hi, Faith.
Hello.
Hi, Faith. Can you understand the information given so far?
Yeah, but could fit so many people. So
Okay, would you understand father?
yeah, my father liked to fish, like little boats, but
Don't tell me
it
too
could be
much.
anywhere.
Just don't tell me too much. Let's just see if we can work with this, and if it doesn't feel right, we'll just move forward from there. So you feel that with father, you would remember being on a boat, specifically when you were a child fishing with him.
Yes.
And you would also know that he would have done this on his own. This would be a place that he would have wanted to go without anybody else, enjoying his time away from everyone.
That I don't know.
Okay. I don't know that I feel that I don't know that this feels exactly right. Can we just bring on somebody else? Just keep listening.
Sure.
And I want to see if I can find somebody that feels a little bit more.
Hi, Kira. It's Christine speaking.
Hi, Christine. You do understand all of the information as well?
I do.
And this is father?
Yes.
Okay. And you do understand that he worked with numbers. He was
yes.
An accountant. Okay.
Not an accountant, but definitely finances.
Okay. This was his job.
Yeah.
Working with numbers. Okay. And with that, you would understand him spending long hours doing so.
Yes.
Okay. And for his time away, he would have wanted to spend his time on the water.
Yes.
Okay. And that would have been alone, I felt. Even though you have memories with him doing this as a child, I do feel that he also would have wanted to be alone doing these things.
Yes.
Okay. And when he would have taken you out as a child, it would have just been the two of you.
Yes.
Okay. And I feel that this is very special memories between both of you, because I can feel that you were quite young.
Yes.
And I know that he would have taken the time to go through how to fish, you understand?
Yes.
Okay. And in that box, you know exactly which section we're looking at here to put onto the hook. I feel like I'm looking at little small things that he would have explained to you. And
at the tackle box you're talking about?
Yeah, thank you. I'm not a fisherman. I wouldn't actually know, but that's what I feel that I'm looking at. Yes, tackle box.
Yeah.
And can you also understand that tackle box would have stayed in the family?
Yes.
And you would understand having this tackle box?
Yes, access to it.
Okay, because I felt that that would have been a special thing for you to have kept. For him,
shared.
I feel that it was an important piece of him, and that it's special that it would have been brought down or handed down into the family. You understand?
It's in the family, yes.
Okay, good. So I want to keep going with you then, because I do feel that this is important, and you would also understand with him that you have other siblings.
I do.
Okay. And he would have wanted to take you out on vacation to places by the water with your siblings and family.
Yes.
And this would have been done, I felt, yearly.
Yes.
Also really important memories. I feel that you would understand spending special time together as the family, as a unit. This is an important piece of him, I feel. I also got the sense that with him, family is important. So setting these places and providing these experiences was incredibly important to him.
Yes.
And I know he worked a lot, but this is how he did spend the time with you.
Yes.
Like he was working to get to these vacations almost. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I understand.
Okay. And would you also understand that, let's see if I've got this right, later you would have gone back with him when you were older?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
To the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that you would have taken him back almost toward the end.
Yes.
Of his life, and to re-experience, if you will.
Absolutely.
Okay, because I can feel that this is such a touching moment for him, and a shared beautiful love between the two of you to experience this again after all of these years.
Yes.
Okay, I know that this is one of the last memories that you would have had with him. I feel.
Not quite.
Okay, then you would understand that this was one of the last times you were able to take him to be somewhere before he passes? Okay,
yeah.
But it was just the two of you. It's
two
okay
of us on the water, but not necessarily.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but if it was not the two of you, then you two would have gone together to the water.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And I felt at least that you would have had a talk or a conversation about the memories when you were a child.
Yes.
And would you also remember that one of the memories you talked about was being a child and being taught how to fish?
Yes.
Okay. I just feel that thank you from him for bringing him to the water and sharing that time with him. I know that this was important.
Yes.
And very heartfelt, I feel, from you as well.
Absolutely.
I know that I can also feel a great admiration and love for him, for you.
Yes.
And I want to leave that love with you here. And thank you so much for sharing your father with me. What a lovely experience.
Thank you so much, Kira. That was lovely.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Kira.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Dad.
Right. I want to move forward. I do feel, let's just see if I've got this one. I feel that I've got Mother. I'd like to say that I feel that she has had cancer. This is how she's passed. I'm not clear on the type of cancer, but I do feel that it's a internal full body cancer, okay? And I would like to say that I'm also in the service industry as we are here today. I felt that I'm looking at someone who would be a nurse in the medical profession, wanting to be of service in this way. Can anybody understand this so far? Mother?
Thank you, Kira. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you could raise your hand if you understand this information. All right, we have two ladies with their hands raised, Donna and Linda.
Shall we bring Donna on? See how.
Okay, and Donna, if you could unmute yourself.
Thank you.
Hi, Donna Marie.
Hi.
Hi, Donna. Can you understand the information so far?
Yes, and being in service meaning working with spirit.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was confusing. I felt that she was in service in the medical industry.
Yes.
Like a nurse, like a nurse.
Yes.
That would make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Can you understand that she would have worked with children as well?
Yes.
Okay. So she, as a nurse, was working in the children's ward, I felt.
At one stage, yes.
Okay. And you would feel, or she would have felt very passionate about this.
I believe so.
Would you not know? Do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Sorry.
I just want to make sure. No, absolutely. Because I just felt that she was quite passionate about her job and also about children. And she would have been there long hours.
I believe so, in the early days.
Can you understand, Donna, that she would have, let's see, I feel that she would have wanted to, it either feels like a nonprofit or some sort of service beyond what she was doing to get to a wider amount of people.
She did do support work, yes.
Okay. And would she have been in the organizational piece of it? Like, she would have been a big part of this. So not just working for it, she would have wanted to be in the main group.
Yes, I get that.
Okay. And this went on past her passing. I would call it a legacy, if you will.
I don't know.
Okay. Then would you know that while she was doing this, that it was actually quite successful?
She was, yes.
Okay. And would this organization have also been of service to children?
No, I don't know. No.
Okay. Then would you understand that you would have lots of children in the family?
Yes, we had lots of people, children, yes.
Okay, because I do feel that this is just a big part of who she is. She's quite passionate about children.
She did
helping
love
them, being
yes.
around them, being of service
Yes.
to them. Yes,
Yes.
you understand. And she was also a grandmother of several children. You would also understand this.
Yes, 7 children.
7, I was saying grandchildren. She also had grandchildren as well, you would understand.
7 grandchildren.
Grandchildren.
7 grandchildren.
Okay. And you would also know that she was one to spend a lot of time with all of these children. Because I don't feel that it's just a few. This is something that she would have wanted to do all of the time. Always be with her family, especially the grandchildren.
Yes.
Okay. And with her passing, I felt that you would understand that the family has come to her in her home for hospice.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so we've got a lot, I know it's a large family, but we've all come together to support her.
That's right.
Okay, and I know that people are coming from lots of different areas. I know this is quite important to her, that they all come together and or be there for her last moments, if you will.
That's right.
I know that you were one of these people as well.
Yes.
Okay, because I also feel that you would understand how important that was, that the family was together again.
Yes, that's right.
Because it feels like there were years where this wasn't actually happening, at least with all of you.
Correct.
So it was a reunion, but a beautiful one, because we're coming together for her. It's a celebration of life, if you will.
Yes, there were big celebrations.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because I also felt that although it was because of her passing that she was enjoying, it was the celebratory aspect of it she enjoyed.
Yes, there was a big celebration.
Okay, but there was also a celebration after the actual passing.
Without giving away evidence, there were 2 celebrations.
Yeah, don't give me evidence or giving away evidence, but you do understand that after there was, I felt that there was before, but also after.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, because to her, it's like, well, going along with the theme, it's that staying alive. It isn't, let's, just think of this as morbid. It's that spirit of staying alive.
Correct.
And the family came together to do this, to make this happen for her, so that we're just not sad, we're actually celebrating.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and I feel that that was quite successful, or at least that's how that's the feeling I get from her, that actually did happen.
It was very successful.
Okay. And the last thing I'd like to say is, would you also remember that there was a large amount of balloons that were released?
There was a big balloon, yes.
Okay, because I can feel that fly free, and
Yes.
It's a nice, beautiful moment. So I know that
Yes.
there's that excitement for the family to do. I feel that was her wish, and it was followed through. And I know there's that thank you and how special, and I love you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Donna. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Kira. And ladies and gentlemen, I know we had some feedback there, but we made it through.
It happens.
It does. It sure does. So we're lucky we can be together this way.
Right. Great. Now let's see. I feel that I have brother. I want to say that I've got brother in spirit. I know that he's, I also feel this is another business mind, but I want to say more legal. So I'm looking at a lawyer. So brother, lawyer, quite successful, very determined personality. I know that this is something you would understand, whomever it is I'm speaking to. And quite educated within his field. Can anybody understand this information as of yet?
No hands up just yet.
Okay. Okay.
I spoke too soon. Always happens. Anita,
right.
if you could press your unmute button, please. Hi, Anita.
Hi.
Welcome.
Not a brother, but a husband.
I was just going to say, because I have incredible teachers, if it isn't a brother, would you be able to understand the information? So let me see, if just hang with me and let's just see if if you can understand the rest. And if not, we can open it back up for the non-brother information. As I said before, you would understand he was a lawyer. He was dealing with the legalities within his job.
Yes, he was an attorney.
Okay. And also quite successful.
Yes, very successful.
Okay. Extensive amounts of education.
Yes.
Okay. And you would also understand with his personality being very determined. I know that I'm very determined.
Holy moly. Yeah.
And that he, I know that fight for justice is truly important. I know that we don't always have people that have ethics, but I do feel that this is how he was.
Yes, he was an idealist.
Okay. I also felt that he wouldn't have worked with everybody. Even if they were to pay him, what have you, I do feel that he would want to do ethically well. Like he would want to do what he believed in and not just take a job.
That's right.
Okay. And you would understand having children as well?
Yes.
Okay. Because I felt that he would have wanted to teach that to them as well.
That's right.
That he would have spoken of ethics and working hard and doing what it is that you believe in.
Yes, he was a bit of an Abe Lincoln.
Right. That's how I feel. But it wasn't it wasn't just that he felt let's see, how shall I say this? He also felt that ethically this would be applied to his family, including you. Meaning his vows were very important to him.
Oh, yes.
Communication between the two of you were very important to him. That you were a team, equals. There wasn't just one that was a dominating force. We've got two people.
I think he would like to feel that way.
Okay, but I also get the sense that I know that he has that personality, but I know that you do as well.
Yes.
And I felt that he would have teased you, but you would have teased him back. That makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it's not just one person that has the spirit, it's the two of you. And I also feel that that would have been given to your children. A spirited family is what I want to say. Mm-hmm. Everyone wants to speak their opinion, and I know that he would have liked that as well. And can you also, would you know that when you have dinner together as a family, and that I almost felt that you would have debates here between the family members?
There were dinners in with his family in which there were debates. Yeah.
Right, but also yours too. Just the two of you with the children.
We pretty much agreed. We pretty much agreed on things. I might have looked at something a little differently, perhaps.
Okay. Well, what I felt is that an opinion was okay to have. Let's put it that way. Does that resonate a little bit more?
Yeah. Well, it would have to be for him to be with me.
Yes, opinions are open and they will be spoken openly, if you will.
Right. Uh-huh.
That's how I feel. And I also got the sense that this was the relationship and the dynamic between the two of you. He would have told you exactly how he felt. You would have said the same back.
Yes.
Okay. That feels to me as though it went all the way until the end, the two of you doing this.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I felt that there would have been a conversation towards the end here that you would have had about, I just feel that it would have been open communication. Would you understand him wanting to speak to you from spirit world?
Well, yeah, sure.
Say no. It's very okay to say no if that's confusing.
No. He knew I was a medium. And
okay.
He used to do some recordings in the background for me.
Right. So that's how I felt that we would have a conversation about him coming back to communicate with you, speaking.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Okay. And clearly this has happened and is happening now. He's a man true to his word.
Yeah, well, you know, he's made his presence known around here. I certainly have in a major way, so I'm not surprised.
Right, and that's the sense that I'm feeling, and this is sort of what I'm trying to relay, at least is how I'm feeling, is that, and here it is, I'm doing this again, and I'm back to say I love you in my special way. Yes. Donna, thank you so much for sharing this time with me and your spirited husband. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Well, yes. Thank you so much. That's really sweet. And thank you, Don, for coming through.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Anita. And Kira, thank you very much for being our first medium today. And
thank you for having me.
To humanity and the spirit world. Oh, yeah, always nice to have you. So we have Dory back with us. Hello, Dory. You're going to have to unmute yourself, Miss Dory.
Yes.
There you go.
It's almost a pleasure to watch somebody else work. I think a lot of the time I've gone first, so I don't get that opportunity. The only thing that I have to do is say, "Oh, Spirit, come on, it's my turn now." You know, just open up the door there. So as I turn my mind to the spirit world, I know that I have a romantic partner here, and he comes with guitar in hand. I'm not saying he was a professional musician, but he played guitar. I also know that he was a smoker. And I am looking for his lady.
Thank you very much. And we have Lisa with her hand raised. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Sandra. Hi, Dory.
Hello, Lisa. I don't think I've ever given you a communication before.
No, you haven't.
Okay.
We have another hand up as well, just so you know.
So let's break. Could we have the two of them just in so that they can both listen?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. The reason I know that your husband was a smoker was he had nicotine stains on his fingers. You would understand that?
No, he did not smoke cigarettes. He smoked something else.
Okay. You would understand that he didn't always use a pick with his guitar?
No, not always.
Okay, I'm being drawn to his fingers, so that's why I thought it was nicotine. But I felt also that when he played, he would also make up his own songs.
Yes.
I know too that when I say that your husband, I called him it is your husband, but I called him a romantic partner for a reason. You would understand.
Yes.
That was romantic.
Yes.
And yet it was, I don't want to say it's a secret between the two of you, but other people would not necessarily have said your husband was romantic. They would have seen him quite differently to how you perceived each other.
Yes.
I almost feel like he was a little more of a man's man and quieter.
Yes.
Than was with you.
Yes.
I know too that when he was with other company, he did not, I really feel as though he had a poet's heart. You would understand that?
Yes.
But no one else would know that.
Correct.
Yours was, it's a very strange thing to say because I know marriages are exclusive anyway, but I feel as though you and your husband had this kind of secret relationship that no one else was privy to.
Yes.
I know too that you had special places. I know that there was one special place where you went that feels like either a mountain or a hill that has a flat rock. Would you understand that?
Yes.
And that you would sit on this flat rock.
Yes.
I feel that your husband would then get quite philosophical when you were in these spots.
Oh, yeah.
And that it seemed as though with your husband that nature brought out that, it's almost like I feel a stream of consciousness would come from him when you were in those kinds of environments.
Yes, he came into his own in nature.
Yeah. I feel though that your husband would have been taken from you in midlife. Would you understand that?
Yes.
That he had a lot more, he would have expressed.
Yes.
He would have expressed that there was so much more that he wanted to do. You would understand?
Yes.
Because he knew that his life was coming to an end.
No.
And that I'm going to say that he told you that he didn't believe that he would make old bones.
I don't understand.
I believe that your husband might have suggested to you that he would not reach an old age.
Yes, he did say that many times.
Okay. There's a sense of urgency that I get from your husband as if he was in a hurry to get things done.
Yes.
And that he wanted to cram as much living into the time that he had while he was with you.
Yes.
Lisa, you would understand that you still have some of your husband's ashes?
Yes.
But that you took some of the ashes to your special place?
Yes.
And some of them are there, but you still have the remain. No, I feel as though you may have taken it to more than one place.
Yes.
But you have retained some for yourself. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
I also know that that's not the only memory that you have of him at home. You've kept his guitar.
I recently gifted it to a friend of his.
Okay, that's wonderful. I also know, though, you have more than one picture that you see on a regular basis that is around you.
Oh, yeah.
But there's one in particular, which is the two of you that was taken in nature.
Yes.
And that is one that brings back those memories of those special places where you go.
Yes.
I know, too, that your husband, I feel as though your husband has encouraged you to be more active than you have been. Would you understand that?
Yes.
That there's been a lack of energy recently?
Yes.
I just want to say that I feel as though there's that need to get back out in nature the way you used to, because you haven't been doing that. And I feel he keeps bringing these lovely scenes to me of nature. So yes. I know it's where you get your energy too, and you need to go back and do again.
I understand that.
Okay. I know that he's never left you and you're very much aware of his presence.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I want to say that you also hear his music played in your head.
All the time.
Yeah. I leave his message with you, Lisa, and I actually thank you so much for working with me.
Thank you, Dory, so much.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Dory.
Okay, let's see. All right, I believe I have a sister who is stepping forward now, and if it's not a sister, it is a friend who was very, very close, like a sister. And I know that this sister would have passed from cancer, and she would have passed in, I'm going to say her 50s. I'm going to say midlife. I'm going to hedge there because I'm not good with age. So I'm going to say midlife.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, is there more, Dory, or can I open it up to the floor?
Yes, please.
Open it up. Okay, so we have one hand raised. It would be Sheila.
There's a ton of hands coming, I see.
Okay, something's happening weird on my side. They're not putting them all together. Okay, we do have a ton of hands up. Okay. 8 people with their hands raised.
All right, I'm going to say the cancer was lymphoma.
Okay. 3 hands remain. Thank you.
Okay. I feel as though that this sister, because I'm not sure if it's sister or if it is a really close friend, but that there was a very difficult time in finding the diagnosis in the beginning. And there were a lot of symptoms that came and went. And so there was a time period before a diagnosis was made. Okay, still
2. Sheila and Dana.
Okay.
Oh.
I also okay. I also feel though that this sister, that the 2 women were together at the moment of passing.
Okay, we are down to 1 person, and we have Dana.
All right.
Dana, if you could unmute yourself, and Sheila, you keep listening in. Dana, could you press your unmute button, please?
And I think I pressed it. It's not me. I know that. So I'm going to lower my hand.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that.
So is Sheila still with us?
Sheila is not far. Let's see if we can hear her voice. Sheila, if you could unmute yourself. Hi, Sheila.
Hi.
Sheila, was it, you would understand you might have cared for your sister during the course of her illness?
This is my friend.
Your friend.
Like a sister.
Okay, thank you very much. Would you understand that you would have cared for her or taken her to her appointments at some point?
It was a while back, so I don't remember that.
Oh, okay. But you would understand that you were very close.
Very close.
And that there was quite a long time before the type of cancer or the type of illness even was discovered.
She was ill for a while.
I beg your pardon?
Was ill for a while.
Before they got a diagnosis is what I mean, right? Okay. I also feel that at one point there was congestion in her lungs from this. And so there was a lot of fluid that gathered within her. You were aware of this?
I know she was sick.
Okay. Would I be correct in saying then that you didn't know a lot about the course of her disease?
She held off a long time before she really talked about it.
Okay.
Did other kinds of unconventional healing processes.
Okay, okay, that's fine. I just feel as though you would understand that your friend was a believer in alternative medicine and homeopathic cures.
Yes.
And that she was averse to taking chemotherapy.
Eventually she did.
But she was averse. Are you correct? Am I correct in that?
She tried everything.
Yeah. I know that I get the feeling from her that she was referring to it as putting poison in her veins. You would understand?
I don't know if I heard exactly that, but
yeah. I know too that I feel as though there was some sort of a geographical distance between the two of you. Would that be correct?
no, just died.
I'm having a hard time hearing you. I'm getting an echo when you're talking, so it's.
No, it was just when she died, when she passed away.
Right.
I was there.
Okay, you didn't make it to there, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Would you understand that when it came time that she knew that her time was coming close, that there was an acceptance that settled over her?
Yes.
Almost a quietening down. And I don't want to say it was a giving up because it's not like that. It was more of I'm going to say a beautiful surrender to spirit or to God.
I would believe that.
Because it was, there was a peace that descended over her that was very, very spiritual.
I'm sure.
I know that you had discussions with her.
Yes.
About what was in store.
Yes, on the spiritual path.
I know in the beginning there was denial, and then there became the acceptance of her disease, and then there was the acceptance of her fate. But I also know that there was a sustaining spiritual quality for your friend, Sheila.
Yes.
That there was a belief in an afterlife. There was a belief in the nature of humanity and continuing consciousness. Yes. You would have known this from discussions with her.
Yes.
I know too that this is not the only communication you've had from her.
I actually asked for her to come today.
Oh. Well, I am very, very grateful
that she chose me to bring her forward for you, Sheila. And I know that what comes with her is this incredible piece of surrender is what I want to say to you. And I know it's important that I use those words.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Sheila, for letting me work with you today.
Thanks, Dory.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. And Dory, thank you yet again for doing a wonderful job being here.
Thank
and
you.
being available to our community and also to the spirit world. And that goes for Kira as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it takes a lot of courage to trust the thoughts and feelings that are coming through will belong to someone here in our community and to voice them. It's not an easy job to be a medium, but it sure is worth it. And I know several hands went up during some of these communications. Just know, ladies and gentlemen, all of our loved ones are around. They have lives to live in the unseen world, but they're only a thought away. So there's so many times they are with us. Look at a picture of them, healthy, well, alive, tap into that feeling of that love you have. And that's almost like ringing the phone, you know, and trust that some of these thoughts and feelings that come into your mind, that's them. Negative stuff, that's your own subconscious. That's how it works. But the love, the memories, the thoughts that seem to come out of nowhere, the feeling of them being close, that's them saying hello. Anyways, just some announcements of what's coming up. We've just opened our August classes, all very exciting. Be on the edge of your seat. Monday, we have Trance in the Altered States with our friend Scott Milligan. I'm there too. Tuesday's a brand new course, Spirit Guides, Inspirers, and Teachers with Carrie and Phil. We've got a whole host of people that are on our side. Beautiful experiential course. Wednesdays and Thursdays, back with Carrie and Phil. Wednesdays for psychic development, which is the first step before you get to Thursday's mediumship class. Also coming up this week on Tuesday, we have something called Sitting in the Power Hour with Scott Milligan, a wonderful experience to close your eyes for an hour and just get that battery recharged, so to speak. On Fridays, we do a demonstration of trance mediumship and also Sitting for Healing with Scott. Sitting in the power is something that is so important to build that spiritual strength. It's the number one thing a medium can do to just really raise that connection. And it helps with healing and our own personal power, our own spiritual development. Can't say enough good things about it. On the 20th of August, Carrie and Phil will be doing a 5-hour course just on that. And you'll get a taste of sitting in so many different ways. Absolutely a beautiful course. Everything can be found at WeDon'tDie.com. Check out the store page. It is not too soon to register for next week's Sunday gathering while it's fresh on your mind. And just a shout out to our friends who have donated, whether once or many times, to make our Sunday gathering possible. We really do appreciate it. We really do appreciate making it available for everyone because of you. So thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Phil for some words for the week.
Thank you, Sandra, and thank you, everybody, for a wonderful Sunday gathering. It's always a pleasure. And I want to thank Dory and Kira as well, because we know it's not easy coming on. And as developing as mediums, we're giving people that chance to build their experience of building their presence, presentation, and how to speak publicly. So it's always great, and it fills us with immense pride as everyone comes on. And we've got more people coming forward because through We Don't Die and my mediumship, we're building and raising those standards of mediumship in many different ways. So please stay tuned for a lot more people coming on and building up their experiences. And I want to thank Kerry for inviting them on, but also Kerry for a wonderful theme of staying alive. And we've seen from disco dancing, some of us on roller skates, get you near there, but also thanks to Sandra, but also to medical procedures, how music is used. So it's that medical profession, but it's living in the moment, isn't it? Living a life that makes us happy, knowing your passion, your purpose, your authentic vision of who you are. And it's keeping it real enough to keep your integrity and humility as we work through life and as we walk through life. Knowing yourself of who you are and things that make you happy is really important. Staying alive is not just about your well-being. Staying alive is about your direction. It's about your strength, your conviction and determination to stay on track, to do the things and live life how you want to live, because being true to that is going to make you happy, is going to make you want to stay alive that little bit longer. And it's also knowing it feels right for you. So be alive, be who you are, be true, be that authentic self. Don't just fake it until you make it. Be happy in what you're doing, because once you do that, it's going to make a difference. It's going to make you feel things are possible. It's going to make your dreams come true. And it's also going to give you that power and positivity to take that next step of your life in being alive. And guess what? You're all leaders, because every step you take that is difficult, somebody else is watching and seeing and thinking how marvelous you're being. So live that wonderful life. And I want to thank Kerry again for all those wonderful, magical moments of the music she picked, because it brought me back to my days when I used to work in Manchester and I used to go past the Gibbs house in Chorlton. So I used to think, and it's just a small world, isn't it? Who knows who and everything else. So be alive, be true, be authentic, and know your passions and purposes. And I'm going to leave you with that and say thank you.
Thank you for that. And you know, as Phil was talking, I just had a vision of Phil singing the Bee Gees song, and he's dressed up and dancing along. But I just want to say thank you to the trio again, Sandra, Phil and Kerry. Always a pleasure to work with you guys. But I want to extend a big thank you to Dory and Kira. I've worked with you guys once before on the Sunday Gathering. This is my second time working with you two, and it's always a pleasure to work for you guys and watch you guys and listen to you guys. So thank you very much. And now, if you'd all like to close your eyes and join me for the closing prayer. We'd like to thank our friends, brothers and sisters from around the globe for joining us here today for our Sunday gathering under that banner of We Don't Die. We deem it an absolute joy and privilege to be part of this gathering, so we thank you for making it possible. We'd like to express our sincere thanks and gratitude to all our friends, helpers and loved ones in that world we call unseen, for allowing us for this brief moment to be in the arms of eternity and having the faith and trust in us to work with your world, work for your world and represent your world here today. We've all, within our own way, done this to the best of our ability and understanding, and we hope in some way we've made you proud. We'd like to thank you for your healing balm, your thoughts and your words, which has brought healing, upliftment and joy to all here present. We all take from this gathering our own unique experience, but the one thing we can all take away from this gathering is our truth that love and life are both eternal. As we bring this Sunday gathering to a close, we all have our own journeys to go down and our own pathways to tread. But we can do this in the comfort and knowledge to know that you continually walk by our side each and every day, helping us, guiding us and inspiring us as we stay alive within this world to lead the best life that we can. And we endeavour to keep your world very much alive within our world as we continue to move forward, learning and growing together to make this world a better place for all of mankind. As we leave this Sunday gathering, we ask once again that the healing light continues to shine to all four corners of our world, to bring the comfort, love and joy to all those hearts and minds that may be in need at this time. Until we meet again, friends. Amen.
Thank you very much, Darren. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, our panel here today, the spirit world, for all being together. As we leave, our closing song is another great one Carrie picked. And it's just a reminder that no matter how old we are, we can be staying alive, being alive, be active alive, all those great things. So let's watch and listen and maybe even dance. Thank you, everybody. If you want to take this challenge, when you get out of your chair, do a little jig, do a little dance, do a little twist, shake a little bit, stay alive. We'll see you next week, if not sooner. Bye.